In this video, I'm going to be vibe coding with the newly released Composer 2 from Cursor. So there's a lot that I want to say about this, but in this video, I'm going to be putting it through 2 real-world production vibe coding workflows for BridgeMind. I'm not going to be doing some goofy HTML file where we don't actually learn anything, but we're actually going to be testing this in my vibe coding workflow. So we're going to get to that in a second, but I have 2 production tasks that we're going to be putting this model through to really judge how good it is in a vibe coding workflow. So here it is. It's a frontier level coding model. I want to do a quick review of the blog and give you guys some of my thoughts, some of the benchmarks, and kind of what I see when I look at this. So first of all, the pricing. So 50 cents per million on the input, $2.50 per million on the output. Here's the chart that they get. This is a little bit, I don't like the charts that they provide because sometimes there's a little bit of chart engineering, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But first things first, the pricing. I want to show you guys one thing. So pricing was a huge thing when they released Composer 1.5. If you guys look here, look at how expensive Composer 1.5 is here. So you can literally see $3.50 per million on the input, $17.50 per million on the output, and then even Composer 1, $1.25 per million on the input, $10 per million on the output. Compare that to Composer 2. They were able to significantly reduce the cost from Composer 1.5 to Composer 2. So that is like really, really impressive. You're going to get a ton of usage out of this model. So that's one thing that I see, because with Composer 1.5, when it initially came out, we were all like, oh, wow, that's expensive, right? But that's not the case with this model. It's a very inexpensive model at this point. So I'm interested in that perspective. But another thing here, I'm not even going to look at this chart. It says, I don't even know what this is, performance versus cost. So basically their point is, hey, you get a ton of performance for low cost. Okay, we get it. They're trying to say that they're better than Opus 4.6 and they're on par with GPT 5.4 High. But I don't know about that. We'll see when we actually put it through the workflow. But the real thing I want to look at is it does do very well on Terminal Bench 2.0. So you can see it scores above Opus 4.6, much below GPT 5.4, but GPT 5.4 just crushes it on Terminal Bench. But really what I think we have to do here is look at the model iteration, right? Look at Composer 1.5, 47.9 to Composer 2, 61.7. So that's a huge jump. So people that are using Composer models, this is a huge model for them, right? So this is the example here, Composer 2, Composer 1.5, Composer 1. You can just see Cursor is crushing it in terms of being able to actually improve this model. So I'm very impressed with this. The big thing too is look at Composer 2 Fast. So there's 2 models that they're releasing. It's Composer 2 and then Composer 2 Fast. So Composer 2, you can see it's like kind of on par with Opus 4.6. It's actually slower than Opus 4.6 and it's slower than GPT 5.4. But then Composer 2 Fast, that has off the chart speed, over 200 tokens per second. So what we want to do here is we want to look, what is the pricing for that model, right? And they put it in its own pool. So Composer 2 Fast is $1.50 and $7.50 on the output. So more expensive. It's 3 times the cost of Composer 2, but for the speed improvement, honestly, that's worth it. Like, you're still getting an affordable model, but the speed is off the charts. The one thing that I am curious about is, hey, how is the performance on Composer 2 Fast compared to Composer 2? Because sometimes when you speed up the models, you know, they don't perform as well. So we'll kind of evaluate that. But that's their blog. I'm not going to read everything that they said in the blog, but definitely like the key takeaways here are, okay, they definitely have improved Composer, and they also have launched this Composer 2 Fast model, which we want to try out. But with that being said, let's get right into testing out this model. If you guys haven't already joined the Discord server, BridgeMind is the fastest growing vibe coding community on the internet. It's the home of the vibe coding movement. There's a link in the description as well as in the pinned comment below. But with that being said, let's get right into testing this model out. Okay, so I have 2 tasks, like I said, that are real world production tasks that we're going to be testing Composer 2 Fast with. Okay, so we have BridgeMind.ai. That is the website. And if you guys have seen BridgeBench, I just want to do a quick overview of what we're going to be building and why. So let me go to BridgeMind.ai real quick. So BridgeMind.ai, we have a benchmark called BridgeBench. And right now you have to go to community and go to BridgeBench, but this has done very well. Elon Musk reposted BridgeBench. It has a lot of traction. It has a ton of website visits. We have a creative HTML where basically with every new model that comes out, we do a creative HTML review, so we're able to see, hey, which model is best at UI, which model is best in terms of these 4 categories or these 6 categories: algo, debug, refactor, generation, UI, and security. And then it gives a completion rate and then the speed. So it's a very good way to test models. But I've decided that we are going to be taking this benchmark a step further. We're going to be improving it. We're going to be giving it its own own custom website. So rather than it being at bridgemind.ai/bridgebench, which it still will be located there, we're now going to be giving it its own website and its own look and kind of like its own branding, right? So we're going to test Composer 2 fast and see how fast is it able to actually build a custom Next.js website. And then we're also going to be integrating this with AWS so that it has the controls needed to set up our Route 53 records. As you guys can see, I literally just purchased 2 domains, bridgebench.com and bridgebench.ai. So we're going to test this real quick. It was $293 to be able to buy those. So I already have a pre-prepared prompt. I just pasted it in, so I don't want to, belabor you guys, but can I zoom out a little bit? This is my prompt if you guys want to pause the video and read it. I kind of just use Bridge Voice to give it the prompt, but I just want it for speed purposes. Let's just do that. But let's drop this in and let's see how fast it is. Obviously, like when you're using Composer 2 fast, you're talking about speed, right? That's what we're going to be looking for. Speed and then also quality, because hey, obviously Opus 4.6 and GPT 5.4, these models are going to be better, right? They're going to be better in intelligence than Composer 2. And really, why would you use Composer 2 fast? Well, it's for speed. You're going to have tasks where, hey, maybe this isn't a task that needs a ton of intelligence, but Composer 2, what they were showing with the benchmarks like we saw are, hey, it's a pretty smart model, but also the speeds are just off the charts if you use Composer 2 fast, and that's what we're seeing here. This is much, much faster than, look at this, it's copying the logo assets. This looks great. So we'll be able to see how fast this is, but while this works, we're going to also now test the second issue that we have that's a real world production issue. And to do that, I do need to pull up Discord. So I'm going to let you guys watch this, but I'm going to just take a screenshot of the error that we're seeing. So this is an issue that we've been seeing in production in BridgeMind. So check this out. So while this works, I'm just going to show this to you guys. So basically, this people that are subscribed to the pro plan, if they don't have a balance, right? If they don't have a balance in whatever card they use for the subscription, it sends them an email, right? And it turns out that email has it links to a 404, right? So this is causing an issue in production because what's happening is people are subscribing to BridgeMind, and maybe when it's time for that subscription to then convert, it turns out that unfortunately, the email that's being sent of, hey, you need to make sure that there's money in your account so that you can actually renew your subscription, it's leading to a 404, okay? So that's actually causing some really big issues in conversions for us because people are having these issues. They're getting a 404 and then they're getting turned off, right? And I'm getting emails like all over the place because people love Bridge Space, they love BridgeMind, but people that, had the 3-day free trial, if they don't have the money in their account, then this is now causing issues, right? So let's let this one run. We'll see. It's literally building a complete website for us. So while that's running, let's launch another agent in Cursor, and I'm now going to paste this screenshot in, and I'm just going to report this. So I want to pay. Okay, so we're going to drop this in. So I'm just going to say this is a bug report that has been reported by a lot of people with BridgeMind. I need you to do a review of BridgeMind API and identify the email that's currently being sent out when a card could not be charged or it failed when trying to renew a subscription or charge the user. Would you review what URL it's sending the user to and why it's leading to a 404? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in the BridgeMind UI. I'm going to drop in the BridgeMind web app, and I'm also going to drop in let's also drop in the BridgeMind API, and that looks good. So let's now launch this. So this is back end. Okay, this is back end functionality, and then this is front end. So I think that this will really give us a good test of both back end and front end capabilities. And what you guys can see here, oh wow, it already updated my Claude MD file, which is awesome. So it updated my README, it updated my Claude MD. It looks like this Next.js config is in. It updated buttons, custom variants. So we'll see. I mean, really, you can't really judge this until we actually see it. But so far, I mean, how long has this been? Less than 5 minutes? I mean, if this finishes in less than 5 minutes, that's pretty impressive. This one's already done. Oh my gosh, that is fast. Okay, so what is happening? The failed payment email is payment failure template with subject action required, payment failed for BridgeMind subscription, and it links to get app base URL manage subscription. A 404 happens when that base URL is website URL. The main site only lives on BridgeMind web app. The fix is to ensure app URL file locks in the API at the. Okay, we're out of redirect. Okay, so let's see here. So let's see. So why is this leading to a 404? And what I'm going to do here, and this is a little technique that I like to use. I have to be careful here not to show too much, but I'm just going to give it access to my AWS account right here. Use the AWS CLI and access and take a look at the environment variables in my BridgeMind API prod task definition, and to make sure that the environment variables are set properly for this. So I'm going to drop this in. I'm not going to let you guys see this because it is going to access my AWS account. We'll come back to that in a second. It looks like BridgeBench UI is now done. So let's just launch a terminal real quick, and let's CD into that. Let's go into BridgeBench UI, and let's run npm run dev. And let's see, I mean, even if it was able to start up, I would be impressed. It looks like it's good. Let's launch the the cursor browser. Don't save that. Do I do Command B? How do I do this now? They changed all the, what the heck? All right. Okay, that's now gone. I don't know. They changed up their settings. So let's just launch Google Chrome. Okay, here we are, chat. Let's go, localhost. First look. Okay, BridgeBench. So here's what it created. So you can see BridgeBench. It did put the logo up there. It's using ShadCN. The full leaderboard. Let's check out that page. So the full leaderboard. Okay, so one thing that I don't like is it did not. Here's the creative HTML. I would say in terms of UI, not super impressed with the UI. It is like linking back to BridgeMind, which I didn't really want it to do. I'll do a follow-up prompt here. I mean, just first pass, this is what it created though. So we have overview. The full leaderboard just links to the actual BridgeMind.ai page, the open creative HTML. This allows you to, change the model. So it's okay. But in terms of like having a creative UI, right? This is like not a super creative UI. I want this to be more of like a standalone website. So let's kind of just do a follow-up prompt here. I do not like the UI that you implemented. I want this to be like a standalone website. You're linking back to BridgeMind.ai way too much. On the homepage of BridgeBench, it should actually just show the leaderboard. It should show the leaderboard. I want you to review BridgeBench, and instead of having it linked to BridgeMind.ai, for now, let's just hard code everything. So I want you to take a look at the results of BridgeBench, and instead of connecting via the API to pull the results from the database, let's just hard code this. So what I need you to do is I need you to look at the BridgeBench, and I need you to look at the models that have been implemented and tested so far, and I need you to completely redo the HTML of the website and the styling of the website, do a complete review and update accordingly. So that's just like a very broad prompt, not like a great prompt, but one that's like, okay, this is the general direction of where I want it to go. So let's go over here and let's drop in BridgeBench for reference, and then I'm going to say update at BridgeBench UI accordingly. Okay, so we're going to drop this in. We'll see how fast. This one's already done. So let's go over here. So it says what proper looks like. So it wants me to create a SSM param. Okay. Okay, I want you to do this for me. Create a structured plan of what changes to make before implementing. So we're going to put it in plan mode here because it really should be in plan mode. So let's put it in plan mode, and we're going to update that so that that issue is fixed. But it looks like it was able to go to my AWS account and then see the issue, and then it'll be able to update it accordingly. So we'll fix that. But so far, I will say I'm not super impressed with like the UI capabilities of it. Just like overall first pass, for what it was able to create. I mean, right? It's very, very fast. So you could do something where, hey, you could put it in plan mode with Opus 4.6, and then you could have it follow up, in another way there. So this is ready to build. You can see here in terms of speed, this is just like off the chart speed. I mean, look at how fast it's implementing this file. That is insane how fast it's doing this. So we'll see like, in terms of our context, can I see the context window? So here's the context. So you can see 105.8K of 200K context used, active rules, Claude MD. So it looks like it's updating already. So you can see some of the models are being put in. So BridgeBench V2, so far it's only the Quen family that's been implemented, but it literally is just like now the website is just the leaderboard and then just creative HTML. Now, what do you guys think? You guys can let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But in terms of UI and styling, I will say this is probably not like going to be the best model for styling. But we haven't really given it a huge opportunity to do that. As you guys know, Gemini 3.1 Pro is by far the best model when it comes to like unique styling. I didn't think or expect that, hey, Composer 2 is going to be this incredible UI model. That's not really what Composer 2 is for. Like, hey, if you go back to the blog and let's just look up the blog real quick again. So let's go back to the blog. Let's up Composer 2 and let's go back. It's what I see with this is, hey, and it's an affordable model that is very fast and has frontier level coding capabilities, right? So it's not going to be better than Opus 4.6, right? Like it's just not going to be there. But in terms of speed, if you're trying to do something quick and you don't need a ton of intelligence, right? Then I think that this is a model that you're going to be able to use. It's affordable. It'll get the job done. It's very fast. There's definitely a place in my workflow for this. So let's go over here and let's check out. Let's go back to localhost and see, hey, where are we at? So it didn't really follow what I wanted it to do. Here's BridgeMind UI. This is not even right. So it's hallucinating. Okay. All right. So I'm not happy with that. So what I wanted it to do, I need you to do another review of this and identify the actual results of each models. You need to update the BridgeMind UI website so that it just displays the data, hard code the data that you see in BridgeBench into BridgeBench UI. So it didn't get that on the first shot here. So what I wanted it to do, and when I gave it I just streamlined my conscious to it. I said, hey, I want you to be able to update it so that it just displays the data, right? But then it only showed the Qwen 3.5 family runs. So, like, do you guys see that? Like, that's something that I'll notice where Opus 4.6 would not have had that issue. Now, we got to our result faster than Opus 4.6 would have, but would the result have been correct with Opus 4.6? Probably. Would the result have been correct with GPT 5.4? Probably. And I think, in my opinion, the models, as we get, continue to abstract more and more and the models get better and better, what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to just streamline my conscious with a broad overview of what I want to accomplish. And then I want the model to be able to do the heavy lifting, right? I don't want to have to be like so specific. And obviously prompt engineering is something that's huge in 2026. The better you prompt, the better result you're going to get. But to some extent, I do want to be able to just kind of give an overview of like, hey, this is what I'm trying to accomplish, and I need you to take it and run with it, and I need you to fill in the gaps. And sometimes like these models just aren't able to do that. So I did give a follow-up. It said that it was able to, I think it'll get it on the second shot. So it's now updating this. There's a lot that I don't like, but just like overall first shot, let's see, is it still able to, we'll see, chat, we'll see. But let's go over here. I do want to check out the payment processing here in a second, but I don't want to expose any environment variables. So we'll let that one finish. That one's been running for 3 minutes here. And again, that's the AWS, that's the back end. It's updating our email infrastructure so that it doesn't lead to that 404 error. But overall, it's a fast model, but not going to be like some crazy level of intelligence, right? But there is a place in your workflow for it, right? Here's an error that we just got. Let's see if it's able to fix that. But I mean, yeah, there's a place in your workflow for it. It's so affordable that, I mean, when you look at the pricing of it, that's what really does, like, hey, in terms of pricing, hold on, that's not model pricing, but in terms of pricing, I mean, 50 cents per million, $2.50 per million on the output. There's also a faster variant with the same intelligence at $1.50 per million on the input and $7.50 per million on the output. I mean, that's what, 50% of the cost of GPT 5.4, and it's a huge speed increase. But you're losing so much on intelligence. I don't think, like, even though they, like, look at this. You have to ask yourself, why are they not including the benchmarks for like BridgeBench Pro? Why are they not including the benchmarks for BridgeBench? Like, why don't they, like, this is basic 101 business. If it performed well on those benchmarks, they would be including those benchmarks. And that's what I don't necessarily like about this blog post and this release, is that, hey, if the model was really that good, they would be posting that information. They'd be like, oh, this does this well on BridgeBench Pro. This does this well on BridgeBench, because those are the benchmarks that most vibe coders, most serious vibe coders, or most serious agentic coders will actually look at, right? But they only put in the benchmarks that they're actually good at. They're like, what is this good at? It's good at Terminal Bench 2.0 and it's good at speed, right? So they put those things in. Now the SWE-Bench multilingual, I haven't even heard of this benchmark, to be honest with you guys. I haven't even heard of it. And then they do their own cursor bench. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, guys, I don't know. I don't like the cherry picking of, hey, I would like to at least see how the model performs on SWE-Bench or SWE-Bench Pro. Like, why can't we at least see that? So it just feels like they're lacking a little bit of transparency there in their cherry picking what they want to show, which is fine. That's basic business practices. But hey, I want to see how the model actually is on the frontier benchmarks, okay? And it looks like it just finished. So let's go back. So both of these finished, our payment processing and the website development finished. Let's go back here. So let's see, was it able to get it this time? Let's see, BridgeBench. Hold on, BridgeBench, where is it? Okay, right here. So let's refresh. Man, chat. So this is very broad overview. Like I gave it, 3 prompts. CLI full run. It's only showing like particular model families, right? And that's just a straight up hallucination there. It should have been intelligent enough to know right out of the get-go, okay, this is what you want. You want to display all of them in like a leaderboard. So let's give it one more shot. But this is my third shot. And I can guarantee you, like, from my experience, I can guarantee you guys Opus 4.6 would have gotten this on the first try. So let's do another follow-up prompt. You are doing this incorrectly. You are putting the model families together in different leaderboard options. I want this in just a singular leaderboard with all of the models together that you see. Let's try this again. So I'm not super impressed. I think that they're, like I said, it's just as you use the model more, and I'll use this on stream a little bit so that we can, I'll show you guys when to use this. But hey, just because a model is fast, which I love fast models are great. But hey, if it takes me 3 times to get to the result I want, and I have to like keep like working with the chat, I want to be able to pass off a prompt and know, okay, this model is intelligent enough to take what I'm giving it, and it's intuitive to be able to create exactly what I want. Let's see if it was able to get it this time. There we go. Okay, so 3 shots to be able to get what we want. 3 shots. So is this even correct though? It's leaving out like the Grok models, isn't it? It literally left out the Grok models, and it has GPT 4.1. I don't think I ever indexed GPT 4.1, and I never indexed Llama 4. So yeah, guys, this is not doing a great job. This is actually like kind of making a little bit of a mess. So yeah, I mean, it's fast, but hey, if you have to like if you have to be up to date with it and like work with it over and over and over again, then yeah, this is a problem. So, I mean, hey, overall, I gave it, it's been about 20 minutes. This is just an overview of like, hey, this is my vibe coding workflow, and you're not getting done what I need you to get done. It's taken me 3 shots. So I don't know why Cursor hasn't necessarily put out the benchmarks. I would love to see the benchmarks. Overall, like I talk about this a lot in the streams, but there's a place for every model in your workflow. This is just a 20-minute, this is me using it, right? So from this overview, yeah, I'm not like super impressed. It is super fast. That's what we're seeing. 100%. It is really fast. Let's do a follow-up on this task here. And now that I saw how it did on that UI task, I'm a little bit unsure about it touching my AWS account. Don't know how I feel about that. The on-disk is still simpler and running on disk. Oh, geez. Okay, so it literally went in here. Yeah, so what I'm seeing, guys, is I'm seeing hallucination. And I'm seeing the model go into places that I don't want it to go. Ooh. CloudFormation deployed BridgeMind SSM prod. Hold on, chat. Yeah, I'm unsure about this model. This went places that I didn't want it to go. It updated the CloudFormation. I didn't want it to do that. I just wanted to actually just go in and update the variables. So it's got the speed for sure, and there probably is a place for it. But yeah, it just, I mean, guys, the models, I want them to be more reliable. If the models aren't reliable, then you can't use them. If I can't give a model what I want and have it just go off, do the thing that I need it to do, and then be done with it in one shot, then I can't rely on it. Like, we are entering an age where with Opus 4.6 in GPT models, you're entering an age where I can just pass off these tasks to Opus 4.6. All right, so just to summarize my thoughts, this is the final website that Composer 2 Fast was able to create. I will say, very, very fast model. I do think that there will be a place in your workflow for Composer 2, but you have to understand that, hey, this model is going to be a little bit more, not a little bit, probably a lot more prone to hallucination than some of the frontier models. And it is noticeable for me as I use it, just that this is not great UI, kind of hallucinated all over the place. It wasn't able, it literally went into places that I didn't want it to go in my AWS account and on my local machine. I was like, oh, I didn't want you to go look at the BridgeMind CloudFormation repo. I just wanted you to be able to look, evaluate, add the new environment variable. And it kind of went where it kind of was like, oh, let me do this and do that and do this and do that. And this is one thing where it's like, okay, like, yes, you've got the speed, but if I can just pass off a task to Opus 4.6 and know that it's going to be reliably, able to complete it, that's a hard sell point for me, where I'm like, okay, I can pass this task off to Opus 4.6. Yeah, it may be a 30th of the not a 30th, but like 30% of the speed, but it's just going to be more reliable. And I think that in 2026, that is a huge thing that people are doing, is that, hey, I don't really need a model that codes at 200 tokens per second, because now I just use something like BridgeSpace and I'll launch 5 agents at once that are all running Opus 4.6 or GPT 5.4, and I'll be able to, manage all these different tasks. And sometimes it's like, yeah, sometimes you don't need the speed. So, there's a place for this. If you're doing like quick fixes, or if you just want to have a cheaper model to use Composer 2. But, I will not be using this model a ton myself. I think that I'm going to stick with my current like Opus 4.6, GPT 5.4, Claude Code and Codex workflow, just because, hey, if the model isn't reliable, if it doesn't produce good results, it doesn't matter how fast it is. These models need to be reliable. They have to hallucinate less. And I think that it is telling that, yeah, Composer 2, they didn't provide the SWE-bench, they didn't provide the SWE-bench Pro, they provided Cursor Bench, they provided Terminal Bench, and they provided SWE-bench multilingual. So one thing, just to kind of, give Cursor some credit, hey, they are improving this model. You can see significant improvements here across, their different models, Composer 1, Composer 1.5 to Composer 2. They brought the cost down. So if you have been a fan of Composer models, you should be thrilled, because this is going to be an improvement. But for somebody that uses frontier models every single day, like Opus 4.6 and GPT 5.4, it is noticeable when you use something like this, because I have an idea of what Opus 4.6 would have been able to do with that site. And I have an idea of what Opus 4.6 would have been able to do to fix that bug. So to see it do that, and even though it was fast, it doesn't matter how fast it is if it hallucinates all over the place. So not going to be using this in my personal vibe coding workflow. I'm not going to put the BridgeMind stamp of approval on this model, but I do want to give Cursor some credit. They're definitely trying to improve the model, and I'll be interested to see more Composer models as they come out. But with that being said, guys, if you haven't already liked, subscribed, and joined the Discord, make sure you do so, and I will see you guys in the future.